Hi, Calaveras County. Morgan Gache here with the Calaveras Chamber of Commerce. It's a privilege and an honor to be standing here in the historical town of Murphys, California, with none other than our District 3 Supervisor, Madam Chair Merita Callaway. Merita, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Welcome to District 3 in Murphys.
I love the green mask. Can you tell us a little bit about this as we transition in?
Thank you. This is Census 2020. Calaveras has only had 47% of its population register for the census. I truly encourage everybody. It impacts your federal, state, and local representative, your highway monies, your education monies, Medicare. Please sign up for Census 2020 if you haven't already.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Census is important and it impacts our business community as well. Funding that comes in that businesses see, whether it's in our streets, whether it's in our hospitals, whether it's in our schools, we feel the impact across the county. So Merita, thank you so much for joining me. And I wanted to have a conversation today really about the state of our county. And I think you're the perfect person to have this conversation with as the representative and the chairperson for our Board of Supervisors.
Yeah, thank you very much for the honor. I'm so glad you picked Murphys, or at least District 3, because it's happening all over. If you look down Main Street, you will see this is an example of what the county and businesses have done together. When the businesses, the restaurants predominantly, were told you can't serve inside anymore, you have to be outside, within a week, the board made the decision, what can we do to go outside and help these businesses, be it restaurants or just retail? And this is an example. So the board asked staff to do it 1 week, and the second week it was done, and this is the result. And this is all over the county. And the permit to do this is free, no cost. I have to say, I have never been more proud of Calaveras County staff than I have been through what we've been going through. And this is an example of why.
It's a testament to the community reaching out and supporting each other. It's been a tumultuous time. There's no other way to say it. 2020 has been a crazy, nonstop show of a bunch of really difficult challenges. Yeah. And since you spoke briefly about COVID-19, I want to touch on that, and specifically in the areas of it's still dotting the landscape of our country right now. It's still something that we're dealing with heavily. And in fact, daily we're hearing about businesses that we treasure, businesses that are generational, that are closing, likely forever. What is it that you would like businesses to know? What experience can we gain from COVID-19 that can help us here in the moment, but also moving forward?
The partnership is really important. And to say businesses have closed, we discussed that Tuesday at the board meeting. Some have closed because that's their choice and they'll reopen later. Some will go out of business, but it's also given businesses a new way to do business. I have been so impressed with the creativity of businesses to market themselves, to work in partnership with each other, and to find out how can we be successful as a business. That being said, they've been very creative. The hard part for businesses is as a county, and it's not unique to Calaveras, they are the ones that are going to help make this virus go away in Calaveras County. They are the ones that say, wear a mask when you come in my shop. They are the ones that say, please wash your hands when you come into my shop. And you see businesses all over, they have hand sanitizers. If it isn't for the businesses helping us, there's no way that we could keep this virus under control in Calaveras.
Well, thank you for acknowledging that. One of the roles of the chamber, and we're small but mighty, but my board and also myself and my staff of one. Thank you so much. Thank you. Maybe we'll get you back in again someday. One of our roles has been we've placed hundreds and hundreds of calls since day one of COVID-19 back in mid-March when we first experienced closures and the shelter in place. And in that time, in my communications and my conversations with a lot of business owners here, something that's interesting through this has been the challenge of finding a workforce. Workforce has been really challenging in our community, and oftentimes it's linked to having affordable housing. We know that robust workforce means affordable housing. So what does that look like, and what can we learn about having affordable housing?
People look to the county, put in affordable housing, but that's private industry. And unless we can find developers who are willing to build what we would call workforce housing, that isn't going to happen. It's not as if the county has land that we could build some workforce housing on. So it's a real testament to how the market is going to respond. And then you have transportation issues. So it has many permutations to it. And it'd be nice to say, yep, we have workforce housing. Well, I mean, people can have what's called mother-in-law units. I don't know why we don't call them father-in-law. We're going to call them father-in-law today. Units. I have to hand it to the building department. They just put something in on secondary dwellings, but the rules are really tight. They're established by the state. And I know everything sounds bureaucratic, and it is, but there's a reason for that. If you're going to allow people to build units, and not pay certain fees or not do certain building codes, then it's going to be has to be for family. It can't be for rental or Airbnb. So we're looking for an easy answer to a complex issue. And most of the places where we see workforce housing are in your more urban areas. How do you do it in a rural area? That's the challenge. We had a project before us, a grant that Health and Human Services had, was to build tiny houses, and it didn't get by the board because the neighbors don't want it in their neighborhood. At some point, decisions have to be made. So it must be a partnership between the private sector and government.
Well, let's talk about that, because one of my other questions to you is, what does it look like in the future to attract new business, to attract new developers? What does that look like?
Well, first of all, I feel strongly that our job, that means the chamber and the county, is to support existing businesses. If we don't support existing businesses, how are we going to be asking new businesses to come in? So my question to the chamber is, what are we doing to support existing businesses? Because as a community becomes successful, then businesses will come in. And I'm sure you've seen that. Of course, Murphy's is a good example. Arnold is an example. We just got a distillery in town. Can't wait for them to open. So businesses will come in, but then I also go by places where I see stores empty. So why are they empty? Is it the rents that have gone up? Is it that the property, the retail retired? So my first question is, what are we doing to support those that are here? It's easy to say shop local, but it has to go beyond that.
Well, you challenged the chamber, and so I'd like to share a little bit what we have been doing. supporting local is incredibly important, and that hits a number of different factors. That's not just shopping, that's not just eating, that's not just dining, that's our services, that's our insurance, our doctors, that's, you know, our rental agencies, it's our real estate agents.
Our bookkeepers and
Our
accountants.
bookkeepers.
Yes.
Forget the bookkeepers and accountants. We'd be in trouble if we did. And I want to continue to do that because one of the things we're highlighting today in this episode is actually something called Choose Calaveras, that the Chamber has started an initiative that we're going to encourage and also market to our community to choose Calaveras to shop, to dine, to eat, to use services that are localized. Choose them first before we go onto Amazon, before we go to Target, before we go out of county. Look and see what's available here. And so we're actually going into the community to show some of the more unique offerings that Calaveras County has to offer. And so over the past 6 months, a big part of the Chamber has been contact, trying to find funding, trying to find support services, seeing how we can help businesses, not just Chamber members, but outside of the Chamber as well. And so since COVID-19, we have been very active in supporting it. So, Merita, with so much going on in our country, in our county right now, what are the board priorities moving forward into the fall and into the upcoming year?
We just updated what our goals were, and some of them are not sexy items. They're really facilities. For example, the DA is in a building, a trailer, for all intents and purposes, whose floor falls in. We have to, a priority is to get a facility, build a facility for the district attorney. My favorite is building a new animal shelter. Keeping up with the health of the county is our highest priority, and doing what we can to help lasso all this virus. And so facilities is one. Of course, through the budget process, we set priorities, and as always, public safety, which is the sheriff, the district attorney, probation, public defender, sort of a compendium. That's a priority. So, and we've had to move things out. County staff has just jumped into working with what needs to be done to corral the virus. And then we have PSPS possibly coming. We've had the fire, we had the cooling centers. So staff's doing that in addition to day-to-day things. So some of the things we wanted to do, like a strategic plan, which I think is critical. I think it's critical to the chamber as it is to the county. We're just having to move some of those things out.
It's one way that, just like other businesses, the county's having to pivot and adapt for what's going on in the current environment.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, Merita, thank you so much. What message would you like the community to know? Obviously, we've created the state of the county. Historically, the chamber has always done this as a way to communicate to our business community. But doing it differently this year because of COVID-19, we're reaching out to the community at large.
Well, part of, from the chamber's perspective, and Callaway, they have a contract with the county, since they're going by, free advertising, is the way you partner with the Visitors Bureau. We have a lot of mini organizations, whether they're business or like the Calaveras Wine Grape Alliance, that we are a small county, we need to partner. And I think as a county we're doing that. I've always wanted to learn to ride a motorcycle. For me, Calaveras is made up of all these individuals and the residents that we don't see. They come together in times of need. They've come together now. They're helping to make this county what it is. And it's easy to look at the negative. I look at the positive. I think as we move forward, I can't be more proud of the people of Calaveras. I'm really proud of the board I serve with. I mean, we have differences of opinion, but it's issue oriented. I'm proud of the staff. I like the partnerships that have been formed. How can you not like what's the positive things that we have going forward? Yes, the trash is terrible. But yes, we have a group called Callaway's Highway 4 Cleanup Crew. And I know I helped one day with Natural Bridges before it closed. So we're hiking out of Natural Bridges. I really wanted search and rescue to come get me because it is so steep. So Natural Bridges, as we know, is now closed till after Labor Day and maybe further. I don't know. But it takes all of us to kind of make it happen. And through the frustration with the virus and people being fearful and having, do I wear a mask? Don't I wear a mask? We're as a community, countywide, are coming together. And I've liked seeing that, and I think more of that's going to happen. I have to remind people, please wear your mask, sanitize your hands, stay home if you're feeling sick, and keep your distance. All of us together will help us control COVID-19 in Calaveras.
Merita, thank you. It's a great place to end. We appreciate your service to our county here, and it's evident that your passion doesn't just lie in the seat of Madam Chair, but it lies in your walking down the streets of your district every day. So thank you for your service. We appreciate you.
No, thank you for inviting me. On behalf of the board, I thank you.